What is so distinctive about the art and life of Alpharita Constancia, that is, Rita Marley, who was born on the 25th July 1946 in Santiago de Cuba, that makes her a favorite among throngs of Jamaicans, as well as freedom lovers all over the world? The most obvious answer is the conferment of the Distinguished National Order, OD, bestowed on her because of her contribution to the musical and cultural identity of Jamaica. The special answer is that as a live entertainer, as well as an actress in movies, she is deeply loved and respected by other talented artists on the global stage. The final reason is that her love for ordinary people and her philanthropy throughout Africa and Jamaica is widely acknowledged and greatly appreciated. Also, as you know, Jamaicans are genetically wired to their ancestral love of music, drums and rhythms. Faithful fans are grateful devotees of the reggae musical genre both Rita and Bob Marley have helped to create. But what separates this unique entertainer from the rest of the field is the message in her songs that encourages an inner peace and an outpouring of brotherly love. It is a concept which, although integral to the sentiments of the French Revolution, our American leadership failed to embrace when our Constitution was framed. The fundamental principles of a diverse democracy have spread exponentially, but we have begrudged their fullest recognition. Not so, however, the unschooled Stair, who through no fault of his own was never taught to read and write. He wears clean but tattered clothes and went barefooted whenever his only pair of shoes self-destructed. He literally has lived on fate's precipitous edge. Because of his personal experience, listening to the actress-singer on his iPhone nowadays, and having eventually met her in person, he identifies as someone with the humanity and humility he has observed in Rita Marley, whose wealth and popularity far exceeds her wildest dreams. This Caribbean female activist has been throughout her life an indefatigable advocate of unity, justice, and the dignity of every citizen. Stair explained how he met the celebrated Rita Marley. I can't tell you the name of the place exactly, but I remember it was near Devon House, along the same road where the police had a recent shootout with 3 gunmen, and was also between 3 and 4 o'clock at the end of the school day when the evening traffic was building up. I noticed this big vehicle like a Pajero Jeep that was coming down the road towards me where I was selling peanuts. You see, I didn't have no regular job at the time, for nothing was going on for me in my district. So I had to leave Lucky Valley and try to find some different hustling in Kingston. I look inside the big Jeep when it stopped close to me and my peanut bag, and there was this big black woman with rasta locks heaped up on her head and a big red ribbon tie round it. She was wearing them big wooden hoop African-style earrings like those entertainers on TV usually love to have hanging down on the 2 sides of their face. Her mouth was painted in a bright red lipstick. On her arm, I could make out a big mark on the left shoulder which looked like the black spot on my mother Clara's arm. She tell me say it was her tuberculosis vaccination, which turned into a sore and then healed up with a keloid scar on her skin. When I was handing her the 2-pack of peanuts, I did say politely to her, "You know, big woman, you remind me so much of my mother. She also have the same mark on her hand, just like yours, from when she was going to infant school and did get vaccinated." The big lady driver smiled and said to me, "Mr. Peanut Man, do you know who you are speaking to?" I don't know if I did look frightened or whether my face did look like I didn't believe what she was saying or not. But the big lady began to laugh, and as she done laugh, she asked me over again, "Do you know who I am?" "Well, since you don't know, I am going to tell you. I am Rita Marley. I was married to Bob Marley, the famous reggae singer who left us a long time ago." Then she paid me for the peanuts and left the change from the paper money with me. I saw her only once more after that day. She bought peanuts from me again, and she gave me a card with a number on it. I thanked her, but as you know, I couldn't read what it said. But I told her that I would keep on listening to the music she and Bob Marley gave us regular on the radio. But in those days, way back in the 90s, I didn't have a telephone for myself. There were only call boxes, and the card I got from her I couldn't find, and I never saw her personal again, only on TV after that. I went back to Lucky Valley and stayed there a long time, looking for something to do that would pay me more, and then I turned back to Tullow Estate. While I was working with Tullow, I met my baby mother. That was around 2001. For my first daughter was born in 2003. I was very happy and proud to have the opportunity to speak directly with Miss Rita. But she and some other ladies, as you know, were the great backup singers for Bob Marley and the Wailers. She was a member of the vocal group they called I3s, and they get me known to the world when Marley began to sing and became an international singing star. I enjoy their music because they sing about real positive things, and their lyrics are spiritual and about God, who they call Jah. From I begin to know myself, I listen to them, and I still love reggae music bad. And I even feel sometimes as if it is running hot in my vein. It is a music that comforts me in time of trouble and help me get up and stand strong every time bad luck or obeah try to knock me down. From I was much younger, I loved the music for real, because like those people they sing about, I am also fighting to be free from poverty, which is a crime against country people like me and my family. I am also struggling against oppression, which is what Bob Marley and Rita Marley songs are all about. They're having them a message for us, the downtrodden, who are being sacrificed so that the better off people can live better, for that is how governments serve the rich and ignore the poor. Marley's music to us is about a lot of stories, like my own, that is all about struggle and the miracle day when we conquer poverty. But we still have to live under disrespect of others due to our helpless situation. I would love one day to make up my own songs about my own form of suffering, but I don't have the education to be able to do it. Remember what my problem is. When I was growing up to be a man and have more to say and want to tell the story of my life, I never feel ready to express myself, and I didn't have the education to be able to do it. For that reason, I can't read and write so good. I don't feel I know enough words, for I can't write them down and show anyone what the lyrics are and how to play the beat of the rhythm which come into my head. If you're going to write reggae and rap like Peter Tosh and Bob Marley, you must have the words looking at first. Then you can turn them over in your brain. As soon as you start putting them together, the rhythm will come to you. And if you are accustomed to the music, you can make up a tune that can go along with the words to express yourself better and better concerning what you want to say. I know what to do, for it is my blessing to be born with that skill. But it is my greatest curse in life that I never got the opportunity to stay in school long enough to get an education to go with my common sense. I don't feel I can write my story, for I feel like a blind man when it comes to the words that I would like to put in front of me, so I can match them up with each other like a poem and put them to a tune from my heart and my head. For tunes are always coming to me, but I don't have ready the words to bring them to life and put them on paper and get others to sing them along with me. You know what this literacy is like? It's like eyesight. Either you see well or you can't see so well. Therefore, I am what you might call nearsighted, for I don't have any vision for what the words I am talking about look like, although to me each word is real and sounds sensible. You know what? Call me a bright dunce, for I am better at thinking than those who have the education are bright at reading and writing, but they don't have the skill and the feelings that I have inside of me. So you can call those bright in education, but dunce in communication. The narrator. So what can we say about Stair? He distinguishes himself from the better educated. They are bright in education, but dunce in communication. Musical critics say reggae is exceptional in that everyone is welcome to enjoy the reggae experience, provided they have a love of roots rhythm. Plain speaking, reggae has managed to pique the learned curiosity of stylistically diverse audiences. It is primitive in structure, but maddeningly difficult to play. Excessively entertaining, it's the very essence of rhythm and blues. Associated with Rastafarianism, a form of religion influenced by the Ethiopian church, it falls within the intuitive pseudo-religious embrace that defines Jamaica's cultural diversity. Reggae evolved from the static-soaked radio transmissions that reached the island in the middle of the 20th century from New Orleans jazz to swing stations, and then it mingled with haunting African-tinged rhythms and pulsating Caribbean bongo and later steel band drum beats. It gradually took on a life of its own and is now one of Jamaica's greatest natural resources, a musical genre accepted internationally. Martin has not forgotten that Rita acknowledged his human identity, and with that his right to exist. So I asked him to explain to me the two most significant messages in popular reggae songs. Not surprisingly, in the context of the peanut salesman story, his number one selection was the plaintive tones of No Woman, No Cry. Both Rita and Bob were once upon a time, if we follow the dictionary definition, premier actors on the world stage. And by their deeds you have known them, because of their activism in the cause of upliftment of the disadvantaged poor, decency, and democracy. Stair's second best selection, because of his spiritual faith and beliefs, is Get Up, Stand Up for Your Rights, which rocked the stadium in Munich, where rousing cheers of thousands of inspired fans demonstrated the equalizing love of reggae music in June 1980. No one, Stair believes, should give up fighting for what is right and just. Get up, stand up for your rights. Stand up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Marley performed the song on stage at the Stanley Theatre. The date was 23rd September 1980. Stair is born on the 26th of September 1978